Hey everyone. Federal agents backed down in standoff with armed cowboys. The Bureau of Land Management released cattle after they were surrounded by militia following an agreement to stop targeting ranchers in modern-day range war. All right. I've totally had enough of this story. I don't believe in this story. I don't believe in any stories they tell you. They're doing it. They're doing it to confuse you. They're doing it for basically they're doing it for energy. They feed off you, whether you believe it or not. We're in a spiritual war. These stories are coded. These stories are meant to instill fear. They're meant to suck the energy out of you. They feed off you. That's what these stories are for. But they're 100% bullshit. All of them. Every last one of them. They're bullshit. I want to warn you people who are looking into these stories. Don't pay it much mind. Don't look too much into it because that's what they want you to do. Looking into stories is another way of giving them energy. Believing the stories is a way of giving them energy. These stories are not real. Okay, they're 100% fake. All right, these people are vampires in a sense. They feed off your energy. If you used your brain and you looked at the pictures and you didn't read anything, you're better off because the information is mind-boggling. These people throw tons of information at you to confuse you, and you searching and searching and researching, and it's for this, it's for that. They're doing this. The real story is, there's thousands of people going, oh, this is the real story. This is the real story. No, and this could be the reason. And no, it's all from them. They make 1,000 stories, they put them on pieces of paper, then they throw it out of an airplane, and you collect them all, and you go, oh, I got another piece. Oh, I got another one. I got it. Oh, it's this. It's fracking. It's this. Blah, 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 blah. No, it's none of the above. Okay? None of the above. Well, let's go through the pictures, and I'll explain. What is this picture right here? A bunch of cowboys waving the American flag. Now, that's like right out of a Hollywood movie, isn't it? Are they pulling at your heartstrings? Wow, you're an American patriot. Is that what you are? Well, don't buy into this crap because they are fooling you. Over here, I don't know what this is. They got like an upside down triangle or a V, and then you got a half moon or a C in here. There's symbolism in these pictures. I mean, take a good look at this. I mean, I'm not really much for all this symbolism, but I do see it. I do catch it, but there's people who are much better than me in the know, and I got nobody with me tonight. I'm by myself. I was supposed to have up north of the 49th, and Justine was going to join us, but 49's refrigerator blew up, and now I'm by myself. So it's not as good when you're by yourself. All right. I stopped the video. 49 is back. This part is the next day. I waited, and I spliced in this part here because I wanted to finish it with 49, so I didn't use the rest of my video. Now, we're going to start off with picture number 1, 49. I got on screen, I have the cowboy holding the flag. So, what do we want to say about this? You said you had...
Yeah. Well, yesterday you had said to me these pictures seem peculiar. So you asked me to take a look at them. And yeah, my freezer kind of blew out. So I had a bloody mess to clean up because it thawed. So I had a chance last night to take a look at them. So I'm going to go through with you what I found. In the first picture, nothing particular other than, the heartstrings, cowboys, the West was one, patriotism, the flags flying. Picture number 2, it's just interesting to me if you look at the sheriffs with their hands kind of on their guns or their equipment and the talk. There's another picture the same, and then the sheriff's hands just coming off of that gun. Each one I just kind of perused through. You had mentioned that in picture number 3, the V and the C, which is almost like a G. Like, to me, this kind of looks like...
It stood out real fast to me. It looks like either a triangle or a pyramid or an upside down V, and you have a like a half moon with the cowboys with the horses in the inside, either a half moon or a C, which we all know is C is a 3. And that's why you see a lot of times when it's done, videos done by the Illuminati, they'll put 2C's, which is 33-degree Freemasonry. But this could mean a multiple of things. And also there could be a letter before the C, which I can't make out.
Well, see, to me, it looks like the cowboy who's riding off on the end of the C. If you turn that upside down, it's almost like the compass and scroll, or compass and
Square.
scribe. And yeah, square. And you got a G, right? With the
Right.
cowboy going off to the side. But yeah, you can kind of see it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say right now, like I said in the beginning of the video when I was by myself, I don't believe in any of this. I believe we're totally being lied to, and this story's been going on for years. I think, what's that guy's name? Bundy? What's his first name?
Cliven.
Cliven Bundy, like in Ted Bundy. Okay, that's what you think of. Also, there's a tie-in with the Illuminati, also, right? And the Rothschilds.
Yeah, there's a bloodline of the Bundys, but it's also like that family show Bundy, who had the dysfunctional family.
Right.
There's a lot of things that come into play with the Bundys and how that works. But if you notice in picture number 3, on the right hand side, you kind of see cowboys' trucks. Like there's reds and blues and black and one white, or a couple white or something like that, a Hummer, things like that. But we'll move on and just keep that in mind as we go.
Okay.
The next picture I noticed, this is my understanding was most of the shots were taken from 2 separate bridges. This one is traffic both way. The river is running underneath it. And I know from Mesquite all the way to Vegas is a double lane highway. Actually from St. George all the way. Used to be Little Arizona was a single lane. So I'm thinking this is near Bunkerville.
Right. There's
on
2
the
different
river.
bridges because this bridge doesn't have the
Yeah.
concrete on the other side.
Right, and it's a river running under it, right?
Yeah.
So that was peculiar. Why are they doing this in 2 separate areas? And I thought there was one staging area, and of course they had all the porta potties delivered. That was nice, convenient. But look again at the vehicles, black and blue, and a couple white, but
Right.
mostly colored vehicles and brown. Okay, move on to the next one, number 5. Kind of looks like on his shoulder like he's got a craft symbol, but this is kind of this is
Oh, we'll see later on.
staged.
There's a guy walking with Cliven Bundy.
Yeah.
He has a craft hat, and I could
Yeah.
almost guarantee you, if you turn this guy's hat around, that's a craft hat. It has the craft skull on it. But let's
Yeah.
move along from this one.
Okay,
Next one I
number
got.
6. Number 6 just looks staged, like
Right.
Ruby Ridge or the Ridge. Clive, of course, is convenient on number 7. Him having the "We the People" sticking out of his pocket.
Right.
Enough.
Yep. Look,
Um,
I gotta say it again. This guy is in on it. All right. There's some kind of bloodline going along with these people. I'm 100% sure this guy is not no patriot. He's not on our side. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's making out like, oh, look what they're doing to this guy. The whole story stinks.
Well, if you just look at the pictures, that's all I did. I took
Yeah.
your advice. Just look at the pictures and see what I could see for symbolism. Now, in number 8, you'll see a guy in a yellow shirt and a black vest, and there's another fella beside him, kind of a purple shirt. It's off to the left in the picture. There's 3
Yep.
cowboys
Showing
in a
with the
row.
mouse.
Okay, let's keep that in mind as we go. Again, a few things to keep in mind, okay? Now, next we have the West has now been won. Well, you know, there's not a crinkle in this banner. It's like you said, what did they do? Make it up right there at the moment? It's too well done to be made up on the fly,
Right.
sitting in the desert.
How did they know they
And
were going to win, and why would they do this?
right,
Why don't they just go freaking home?
right,
And
right.
yeah, it's just to me it seems like they already know that they were going they already knew the outcome, and
Hmm.
this is all staged, so the government didn't lose anything. Within the next 10 days, we'll get into that more later. We're going to see what's really going to happen. This is not over yet.
Yeah. And the fellow with the hair in front of the face is kind of that's a freaky kind of picture. Like when I look in on it, if hair flies in front of my face, I mean you can still see partial of the face. It's almost like he's got a balaclava or something on, and I think it's a definite man, but peculiar. And but of course the cube on the left hand side, I'm not sure what the symbol is on that cube, but anyway, point here is the West has now been won. Now, if we just take the letters, the blue letters, the has been, or West now won, like ONE, one. And I'm going to do something here later on, and I'll show you about these letters. Let's move on to the next picture. Number 10, of course, it's just everybody sitting on the edge, viewing the whole situation. Now, number 11, here's the cowboy. See the cowboy in the yellow and the black, and the one at the very front is in purple. But if you look in the background, there's a river running through there. They're right next to a river. Yet in all the rest of the pictures, it showed that they were in a dry wash, right? So I'm not clear on if this is two different locations or if this was on the double lane highway, but the only single lane highway is down near Riverside, near Bunkersville. That's a single lane highway.
Right. Well,
So,
it's probably two different areas, so I don't think it's that important. I don't know.
well, the difference is they're 3.8 miles apart.
I didn't know they were that far apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got horses here, and
Right.
that's my understanding is when
This
I
whole
look at
thing
Google
stinks.
Maps.
It's all been staged, right down to this beautiful Hollywood picture right here. I don't buy it. I don't buy any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the mainstream media and Alex Jones, David Icke, uh, what's his name, Mark Dice, the mainstream
Yeah.
media, the sheeple, and the people are awake are all on the same page, singing the
Sam
same
Tilly.
tune to the choir. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
This is a pre-packaged, and they package it for everyone. They didn't give everybody a separate little package this time. And we're all
Hmm.
singing the same tune. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
couple of other things they're saying about fracking and this and that, a couple of stories, but they're just stories that are thrown out by them.
But I don't doubt that they're gonna frack in that
Oh
area.
yeah.
I mean, and the tortoise is just a premise to get them off the land. Okay, number 12, of course. I just get the feeling with this picture that they're hurting the sheep or
This is the one with the
the
flag
cattle.
again.
That's us. Yeah, that's
Okay.
us. They're herding the cattle.
Right.
All right. Same again with number
Well, that's another
13.
Hollywood picture right there. It's a posed
Yeah,
picture.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
Guys, their hands up in the air like they won. The
yeah,
flag, it looks like a director's cut. The nice director scene. He has his hands up there. He got the perfect picture, took the perfect shot.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's just too
Fists in the
perfect.
air. All right. Number 14, there's no way in the world that any federals or sheriff's department would let a lone guy sit there beamed in on, sighted in on the base camp. I mean, come on, what stops this guy from actually, inciting the whole
Right.
mess by
Oh,
pulling the
I got to
trigger?
point out also 249. You can't see anything between the concrete
Mm-mm.
barriers. You could just put your barrel of the gun there. He has no view shot. Now you
Oh,
have no
so
view shot
staged.
down, and you have no view shot up. So this is a total BS picture. Okay, it's a posed
Yeah.
picture. Yeah, if you're a sharpshooter, there's nothing you can see in between the barriers. And if he can, and he did fire the gun, everybody on that bridge standing up would be a target and be shot dead instantly.
Oh, of course. Of course. And there's 9 people in the background.
Yeah.
And you notice on these pictures there's 45, and in the bottom of each picture, 5 and 4 is 9. All right, moving on to the next one. There again, there's a sheriff, and they got their hands on their guns. Like, all right, let's go to 16. Number 16. That's totally over the first
Job well
knuckles.
done. We fooled them again. They always do that
Yeah,
handshake. I'll stop you one
yeah,
second here. When I did the movie theater hoax, the cop shook hands with the guy who was a witness, just like this.
yeah,
They
and
film it, they shoot it. Well, job well done. We fooled them. Okay,
yeah,
they do that traditional. Okay, between us cops and me as the witness, we collaborated together and we fooled them. All right,
right.
and of course they have the Masonic handshake with the thumb over the knuckle.
Right, and everybody was saying that, you know, there was no negotiation. Where's the sheriff in this whole mess? And the sheriff isn't doing his job to get the federal agents out because this is his territory. And yet it said that this sheriff was mediating this whole time with Clive and Bundy, and they reached an agreement just in the nick of time to come to an agreement after all the people showed up, and they had been in negotiations for the last month. Well, that wasn't indicated in the beginning stories. And another point is that the cattle that are to be sold, that Bundy supposedly owes them $1.1 million, and the BLM in this article says that they'll share the price of the cattle sale with Bundy. Well, why would they do that if he owes them $1.1 million?
Yeah.
It's all a farce.
It's a fabricated story. Everything is. But this story's
Yeah.
been going on for years too, about the cattle and all this.
Hmm.
They make these stories up. They're just fabrication. These are not real people who have these real problems. Okay, Clive
Yeah.
Bundy is in on it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't feel any
Well,
sympathy for this guy. Don't back this guy up in anything. Okay, this is a
well,
farce. It's a lie.
Well, they said that, if we go to number 17, they said like 150, 200 horses and 300 people. And, well, you look from one bridge to the other. Here's the other to verify that it's a double lane highway. You got two lanes going one way and two lanes going the other. They're both on separate bridges. No water under the bridge here, dry water bed. But it just, where's the river? I don't know if it's to the right somewhere, but I didn't see a single lane highway on this whole highway with these two bridges from St. George, Utah, all the way through Little Arizona, all the way up to Nevada. It's all double lane highway. So it seems to be two separate locations.
Well,
Okay.
it's definitely two separate locations. Look, must say this is another perfect scene in a movie. It's a perfect
Mm-hmm.
picture. They have
Mm-hmm.
the opposition on the opposite end, and they have all the ponies up in the air, which
Mm-hmm.
the government backed down to people on horseback. Well, I got to add, you're only on horseback and fight people on. You only get on horseback to fight people on horseback, because if you're on a horse, you're a sitting target. You're up high, and the snipers could pick you out in a heartbeat. They'd have no
Mm-hmm.
problem taking these people out. Now, these people have money. They can get in their trucks and load up their trucks with ammunition, whatever they do, and they can hide behind their trucks. But being on top of a horse, you're just a target. So this is just a Hollywood production, is all this is.
Yeah.
No reason
Um,
for the government to back down from these people.
okay,
And they're not.
picture number.
I'm sorry again. They didn't
Yeah.
back down from these people to save anyone from getting hurt. The government doesn't care if you get hurt.
Hmm. I'm sorry. Um, I'm just moving along quickly. Number 18 out of the 45. Now you see the Ranger vehicles. You see a C6, an ME4, and a D3. Well, when you take the C, that's 3, and then the 6, M is 13. I don't usually do numbers, but I just thought for, excuse my language, shits and giggles, I would do this. M is 13, E is 5, and then you have the 4. Then you have the D, which is a 4 and a 3. Add them all up, it comes to 29. So if you take a 1 and a 1 and a 9, 29, or 2 times 9 is 18, which is another 9. But just the 2 and the 9 by itself, a 1 and a 1 and a 9, makes the 29, right? So I thought that was interesting. It comes out to 911
Yeah,
backwards.
everything comes out to 9/11 when they put coding in
Yeah,
there so they could tell their booties that hey,
yeah,
this is our team. Both sides are run by us. It's a
yeah,
totally controlled situation to control the sheeple, control their way of thinking, their minds, and everything.
yeah. And notice all
Scripted.
of
We got lag 49.
the government vehicles. Okay, you got a GMC or a Chevy, and then 2 Fords. We'll move on from here. Yeah. Okay, here they come down the V of the. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the vehicles notice that the pickup trucks are Fords,
Good old Skype
SUVs
lag.
are GMC or Chev. All right, moving along. Number 19, they're coming down in a V into the dry wash. You see there's no river. Yeah, you see there's no river on
Nope.
number 19. They're coming down into a dry wash on the opposite end. Okay, we're going to go to number 20. Now, see the heavy set guy? Oh, can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, number 20. The heavy set guy's got a 9 on. The next guy in black and tan, like CST that was in Boston, he's got a craft
It's a
hat
craft
on.
skull.
Yeah,
Same as
and
in
peg.
Boston bombing. Why does he wear the Boston bombing cap over here? These are the
Yeah,
same
why?
people involved with the Boston bombing. It's the same thing. They're all involved.
Yeah. And then this guy in his khakis or whatever. Now count the people. Six, right?
Six.
And a nine,
Another
you
six.
know? Yeah.
This guy has the cube on his chest also.
I'm sure you'll find another six in here somewhere. But I'm just, it's just interesting to
These are the
me.
same entity that are trying to get rid of us.
Yeah.
Cliven
Now,
is
no,
is the enemy.
hmm Number 21 is the guy blowing the shofar. Well, you can't. This horn is not indigenous to North America. It's a specific type of horn for the shofar, and it comes out of near Israel, the high mountains. But the point is why would a hick cowboy with a gun be blowing the shofar uh, on
Jewish horn,
just?
yeah.
But it's also the feast day, right? It's the beginning of
This was on
um
Friday he did it.
right,
You blow the horn at the beginning of Passover, and yesterday was
right,
Passover, which was Sunday.
right.
So that what is
And
a coincidence there? Come on, that horn's supposed to
right,
be blown before Passover, and yesterday was Passover, and he did it on Friday. So this is
right,
the Jews. The Jews are involved.
right. And it says that Rosh Hashanah is the day that commemorates the creation of the world, and it is described as the coronation of Hashem, which they call God. As it is customary to sound a trumpet at a king's coronation, so we blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. There's various holidays, but it says basically that there's 10 days um, of the repentance, right? So I'm thinking in 10 days, something's going to happen. And a friend of Terry's had mentioned this. He figures all hell's going to break loose again on this same subject in 10 days. You have 10 days of basic, it's a back down, right? You
Right.
take the time, I don't know how to say it.
Well,
Uh,
we're going to see in 10 days now because this is definitely not over. Something's going to happen.
yeah.
Well,
So,
now you can still see the flagpoles in the background.
yeah,
Those flagpoles weren't there. These people erected them, and there's other pictures showing you them holding the flagpole,
right,
and they're going to put it in. Now you
right.
can't erect a flagpole without a crane. Those are too tall.
Well,
You
here's
need
the
something to
thing
dig the
is,
hole, and you need a
yeah.
crane to erect it. But
Well,
they
look,
show people holding it.
yeah, but look at the size of the truck. You figure a
It's
truck is
huge.
about 6'2" or so,
Yeah.
right? When you get them or 6'7" for clearance under a sign. But you look at the size of these poles. I mean, they are tall. And Terry actually made a comment that nothing is supposed to fly above the U.S. flag. If these are patriots, they would know that.
Right.
And
They're
she
not
made a really
patriots.
valid point. Is nothing flies above the U.S. flag, not a banner, nothing.
Yeah.
And
Every one of these
and
people are the enemy.
and but I mean, look at the height on these two. Okay, moving along to the next picture. Here again on 22. 7 and 2 is supposed to be the area code, you get another 9, right?
Right.
And you see the banner in the background and something it looks like huge on top of this pole. Well, this is massive. I mean, uh, well, who dug the hole? All right, number 23. You see him exposing his left breast. That's a Masonic thing.
Right. That's a
And
Masonic pose. They did it in the Boston bombing when the kid was on the side of
mm,
the boat. He lifted up his shirt and exposed his left breast. It's the same
right,
thing.
right. Now look on his wrist. He has a black and a red. It's called a Rachel's tomb or Rachel's knot. And I did that in my video jump. The knot is usually ordinarily red. Doesn't matter the material of the rest of it. It could be white, it could be green, whatever. But a Rachel's knot or Rachel's tomb, which is a sign of good luck from their, it's another paganistic practice within the Masons and I don't know if you want to call them Illuminati, but it's a Hebrew thing, and you notice most cowboys don't wear bracelets. I'll tell you that
Right.
much.
Right.
Okay, so of course here you have this is the next picture 24 about Heller, Mr. Heller. Well, if you think about it, it says Heller has risen to Bundy's side. interesting play if you take out, you know, basically what they're saying. Heller has risen to Bundy's side, you know?
Hell.
Mm-hmm.
Hell is risen.
Okay. Yeah, basically. Okay, number 25. What struck me about this picture is you look at it, the guy on the right-hand side beside the trailer has that Anarchy A on his shirt. And you've seen it in different movies like Olympus Falling and, you know, the White House when it was burning or whatever, these different movies. And that's in a lot of the movies. Uh, so, and of course, yeah, just they were sure prepared here with the banners and everything.
Yeah.
All right, next one. This is their encampment for the BLM. You look at all their pickup trucks, white, you know, white. Look at the tons of porta potties out there. You know, all the vehicles seem to be
Yeah,
Fords,
but if you look
basically.
now, every one of these vehicles are white. These are government vehicles.
Right, right. And look at the height of that tower. I mean, you know, in comparison with the other, it's almost the same. All right, now the next picture goes on, and I want you to notice the word in red, not. Okay? And forget about the rest. I'll explain this red letter not to you in a moment, okay? And Dodgers, that's kind of funny. They're Dodgers.
Yeah.
And notice the guy has the Superman again sitting on
There
the
you
on
have
the
the
porch
Superman
swing.
T-shirt.
Sure, the S.
Superman,
It's always in
the Antichrist.
that's they always have a Superman
Yep.
picture somewhere
Yep.
in these hoaxes. Okay, again the water, it reminds me an awful lot of Sandy Hook and
Yeah.
the whole shenanigans.
Government bundled water.
But see again on the top of that flagpole, there's something up there. I don't know what it is, but that would take a lot to
Well, that's the
erect.
same. That's the same flagpole. With the two towers. Aren't
Yeah,
those the same ones? That's the
yeah,
one we're going to talk about. I'm pretty sure that's
yeah.
the
We're
same
gonna
one.
talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Next one.
Next, we got the guy apparently being tased. You know, I don't know that a taser would ever uh, leave blood on you like that. But again, notice this is a different day. This was days prior. I want you to notice a couple things. See his bracelets? He took the green one off a few days
We got to
later
go
when
to
he
the
was
next one
showing
then.
number 30. Sorry. See all the blood from the taser? Now, here he's got the bracelet on, but he's got a green one on too. I don't know. Cowboys don't normally wear bracelets, but the point is it's Rachel's knot again. And notice they're looser knots. It's almost like it's a different bracelet, but it's still the black and red with the Rachel knots on it. She's got the black and red phone, but look at what she's wearing. This is interesting. This is days before the actual we won kind of thing. So this was the first day when the guy got tased. And notice what it says on her shirt. LDS.org, hokey pokey. Okay, let's move on to the next picture. Oh, here's the guy getting tased on that first day when they had a confrontation.
Yeah, we got to pick it up here. We got to take a
Number
long time.
32, you got the red and the blue, okay? Number 33, that's just, of course, these guys. I thought that government agents, Terry said this, government agents aren't allowed beards because they fight fires and they need to be able to put respirator masks on. Okay, we're going to go number 34. Let's go number 35. This is my most important find.
This is a beauty
Notice,
find.
notice that there's 6 men, right? And notice that there's 6 shadows. Now notice on this guy's shoulder who's closest. See
Right
the
here.
triangle? See the 3 and the 3?
They probably won't be able to see it, but it says 33 on it.
Right.
33
So you
degree
got
Mason.
6 men, 6 people
Well,
in the
you got
shadow.
the shadows from the people behind them, which is
Yeah.
6. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. Then you got the 6 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 6 shadows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's
No,
6,
yeah.
6, 6. That shot was
But the 30,
shot perfectly and specifically for the 666.
but the 33 on his shoulder makes the
That
third
clinches
6
it.
without
33
yeah,
clinches it.
yeah. So moving on to the next picture, of course, Clive, and he's just standing around
The
doing his
traitorous,
thing.
murderous bastard. Sorry,
Yeah.
I had to put a curse word in there for you.
All right, now number 37. This is an important find too. Now notice it says liberty, freedom, for God we stand. That's interesting. It's not proper English. It would be usually liberty, freedom for all, right? and we stand. Well, I started looking through the different things, but let me first acknowledge this First Amendment area sign. And notice that it says under it, "Who is John Galt?" Well, Ayn Rand wrote Atlas Shrugged, and Ayn Rand was supposedly a Rothschild mistress. And when you talk about John Galt and this whole scenario, this has a lot to do with implementation of Agenda 21. It has a lot to do with, I mean, look at this cowboy here and the rest of them. I mean, Atlas Shrugs is a pretty heavy read most of the time. I'm not saying that they didn't read it, but it's very, very interesting to me that they would put on the bottom of the sign, "Who is John Galt?" Now, why would they do that? You look at the two posts, they're white, pillar to post. Look at the tie
Two
downs they
pillars.
did. This is the two pillars, yes. And
And
you
everything's
look at,
above the American flag.
that's right, and even above the state flag.
Yeah.
But I mean the pylons that they had to use to tie these down,
Yeah.
these are not ordinary poles that they
So
just
where's the
strung
crane
up.
that they use to put this in?
Well, here's the
Where's the
thing is,
machines they use to dig the holes? I mean, this was a government run operation. Okay, there's no
yeah,
two sides here. There's only one side. Okay, the one who
yeah.
worships Satan. These are Satan worshippers. Okay, they're Freemasons. They're Illuminati.
But you
The whole
take the
story is
average,
fake.
but you take the average height of a man, it may be 5'10". You look beside the A in amendment on the left-hand side. Maybe this guy's about 5'10". How high are these poles?
They're
Are you
huge. They're
kidding
huge.
me? I
All right,
mean,
all right. Let's move on. I mean, they're huge
all
poles.
right.
Nobody you needed a crane to
Okay.
erect them. Next picture.
Okay, 38. I see a whole bunch of government trucks here.
Right.
That's what I see
They're
because
all white.
cowboys normally don't run a white truck, especially if they're running through muck and mud. The gray truck in the back with a horse tied to it makes more sense to me. You know, these just lit all of the same brand, all with the same type lights above them. It looks peculiar to me. Now here at 39 is all these people just happened to put up that
That's
pole.
the pole. Now
That's the
you can't
pole.
erect a pole with people. You need a crane. You can hold a pole like that, but you ain't getting that pole in there with people. You can't erect a pole without a crane. It's
Oh,
too.
you need something higher to pull a pole up,
You
and
can't
or
do it.
else a
You
real deep
cannot
hole.
do it
I
because
don't believe.
at some point the top of the pole has to go all the way up.
Well, I don't believe they did it in
No,
this day.
they
That's
didn't
what
do it.
I'm saying. They did. Who dug the
This is a
hole?
posed picture saying, "Look at us. You know, we're the good guys." When they're, or in fact, they are the bad guys. They are cohorts of the government.
Mm. Number 40. Of course, you see the red pickup truck, which makes more sense to me because that's normally what they use as colors. But just freedom and look, it's a nice designed banner. I mean, they've only been at it what, a week out there. We move on to the number 41. You got all kinds of helicopters. Number 42, you see a cow. Now you don't run cattle that are nursing because they get mastitis real quick when you run a cow.
Well,
So I understand.
they claim that they were taking the cattle, right? So
Mhm. But you still, I mean, I don't see calves.
no,
It's calving time in February, and normally you don't run a cow who's calved. And then of course you got more little helicopters. All right, I'm going to go on to 44. See this man's stance walking by the First Amendment? It looks like he's just casually walking by. This is a
it is
pose.
opposed. Yeah,
Look at
that's
it's a
clear.
stance. You don't walk like that. It's a pose. All right. Now here's number 45. Here's this woman again, 4 or 5 days later, in the same outfit. She's not rough to wear, so it's not like she's been wearing the same thing. But this is the final picture. And what it says is the hokey pokey, what it's all about. That should say it all to you. And this gal on the left hand side to her of her, Burgundy Hall. Well, interesting to put her into a picture. What a convenient name, Burgundy Hall. So now what I'm going to do with all of this is I'm going to take what all the pictures with the writing on it, and I'm going to read it to you. So if you show them in order, the first picture in the blue of the banner had said, "The West has now been won." So if we take just the blue, the has been.
Hold on.
And,
Okay. The West has now been won. Now they take all the blue. The
just the
has
blue
been.
letters. The has been. Now, if you go to the picture with the guy with the First Amendment and John Galt on it, the has been liberty for God we stand. The has been liberty for God
Liberty
we
for
stand.
God we stand. Taking out.
Okay,
We're not saying the one in the word freedom because that's in red.
that's in
This is
red.
liberty for God we stand.
Now let's look at all the pictures with the red. Now there was one picture with the banner, one with, of course, the First Amendment side, and one that had the Superman guy in it
Right
that
here.
said not.
Not.
Let's look at the red.
And that's a red. It's
West,
a red word.
yeah, West now one. Let's look at it as ONE. West now one, not, and then the last picture, freedom. West now one, not freedom.
Yeah.
If you look at these things in
The
order of
West is now
appearance,
one, not freedom.
West, no, not one.
Right. Not
No,
one.
oh, sorry. West now one, ONE, not freedom.
Right. Not freedom.
So isn't it that they all want you to be one? And this is a unity. All of us have been fed the same story. We're all on the same page. Oh, about freedom and liberty and God. But if you look at it, the has been is liberty for God. We stand. West now one, not freedom.
All right. Let's move on. Let's go to the
All
next
right.
story. It's clear to me. I mean, it was killing my spirit from the beginning, and I'm not one to read anything because I just know when I look at it that these people are frauds. They're phonies. And especially the video they put up, I wasn't buying it. I'm not buying any of the pictures. All right, these people are Masonic devil worshippers. That's all they are, and they've been fooling us for years. Every story they come out with in the news, they can feed you a story for 20 years and print it up. You don't realize all these stories have been put up for the past 20 years. It's all BS, all of it.
Well, and it's disturbing that they see liberty for God. Well, it should be for the people. If you wanted to liberate, like, say, Satan, and he's buried in the hole and he'll, according to Revelations, would you not want to liberate him? Liberty for God? What God?
What was the connection with the names now? See, that's what we needed Justine. Someone, I think she knew something that they were connected to the Rothschilds.
Yeah, Bundys are kind of an offset of the Rothschilds. We
Right.
spoke about that earlier, yeah.
All right.
Well, Illuminati.
We're going to have to
yeah.
go real fast now if we want to cover the other things. Just want to cover the MH370 again. This thing the plane never existed. It never took off. The family were actors. If you check out nodisinfo.com, he goes through it detail after detail in several videos or several days of it on his website. So go there and watch that. But they want you to pray for MH370. Now, why do they want you to pray for a flight that never took off? And they ask you to pray for the students and the stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's back it up a little bit. I got so many things open over here. Where's the stabbing? Wow, I can't find it.
Alex,
here it is.
okay.
All right, and here they put up a sign. We love our school. Pray for our school. All right. When they ask you to pray and you believe in their story, you're actually giving them energy, and that's why they held a vigil for people who didn't die. They actually held a vigil for people who never died.
Oh, I couldn't believe a vigil. I thought, who died? Did one of them die? A vigil? You don't hold a vigil for people who are alive.
No. Oh, it's another story over here. All right, but getting back to MH370, yeah. The story with the plane landing in San Diego Garcia, that's a lie. Okay, they're just all these packages, prepackaged stories thrown at us. Okay, all the stories you get from the mainstream media are fake, and all of them are coming from them. Truthers are thinking they're getting some inside information when they're not. Okay, we're being fed baloney. You have to use your heart and your soul when you look into these stories.
Hmm.
The story is total bogus. It's fake. Uh,
Hmm.
and
Well,
the
well,
pilots don't exist. I mean, if the pilots do exist, but who are they? Were they on that
hmm
plane? No, of course not. The plane never took off. It never existed.
well, I have a picture from Red Pill's video, and he has a plane that was on CNN News, and it's CNN's newsroom showing Perth, Australia, the Patron 16, of course, with Poseidon on the plane. Here's where I took off was Executive Officer Commander Daniel P. Papp. So I thought, Papp, let's take a look at this guy.
Yeah, I'm showing him now. The
All
first
right,
one.
so I took a look. He's Commander Papp. He comes out of Chicago, Illinois. He's a graduate of university. He has a science bachelor degree in science and technology. Oh my gosh, he's so decorated. He specializes in weapons reconnaissance. He specializes in tactical units, special projects officer.
Right.
Uh,
Okay, but
take a look
meanwhile,
at this whole
this
thing.
guy is supposed to be for the U.S. Marines, right?
No,
Or the United States Navy.
yeah, but he's flying planes for
But
the
we have a
Australian Air
picture
Force.
I'm going to show the picture now. Okay, this is a picture of the Perth, Australia,
Hmm.
Patron 16, with the trident on it, and it
Right.
has his name on it, Executive Officer CDR Daniel P. Pat.
Yeah. So I started looking into him, and it's interesting. I mean, it's U.S. all the way. What is a U.S. officer doing flying for the Australian Air Force? And he's you look at here's something. In September 2008, Commander Papp reported to the Wizards of a Special Project Patrol Squadron 2 based at MCAS Kanoa Bay, Hawaii, where he served as a tactical officer, training officer, operations officer, and detachment officer in charge. The Wizards were awarded the 2009-10
Which
Battle
page are
E
you on?
during tenure. That was on his Commander Daniel Papp, on the
Oh,
blue one with him.
okay.
You should see, you got to read this page and understand who this guy is. And it's like, holy cow, what is he doing flying for Australia? Then you look into, go to P8A training simulator. Here's an article on him in February 2nd of 2012. They were bragging about this brand new plane and this whole simulator for the P8A. And it goes down to the bottom and it says, it's the first new plane that they get in 50 years and is a PA-8 Poseidon is the latest Navy aircraft designed to execute long-range anti-submarine and anti-surface warfare, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions. Now remember, reconnaissance means their own things, like, a pilot lost, a plane lost, in regard to their national defense. It will replace the PC-3 Orion, which has been operation for more than 50 years. Fleet transition from the Orion to the Poseidon begins in 2012. That's the last paragraph of that article I give you on the simulator. Now this guy's all over this simulator. He's US. Now I thought, gee, I
Well, I
wonder if
gotta I
there's
gotta
any.
interrupt you. When if you went over there to help search for the plane,
Mhm.
if you're a commander, if you're the commander, they put your name on the side of the plane.
But I mean, he's the head.
Yeah, I
What is
know.
the head? What is the head guy?
I don't even
I
like
mean,
dwelling on these stories because
I know.
they just throw them out there to. But you're right. See, it doesn't add up. Plus,
No.
his father was looking for money.
Well, look at Robert Papp. Now I started looking into the name Papp, and I come up with Robert J. Papp. He's the commander of the U.S. Coast Guard. Now Daniel Papp is in charge of the Antarctic. This guy's in charge of the Arctic. In a Coast Guard article called Fierce Homeland Security, he was saying that the budget of 1.5 billion is not enough. He needs an annual of 2.5 billion annually to address all its outstanding needs. And if you read this article, he got new ships too to replace half a century or 50-year-old equipment as well. But I think they're related, and I think Daddy is the admiral and the son is commander. I mean, if you look in the article of P8A, he is a lieutenant. Now, I thought there was four other levels, like sergeant major, major, on up to commander. But he jumped from a lieutenant in 2012 to a commander in 2013. So that's a big jump. So it's not what you know, it's who you know. And to me, it's Admiral Robert J. Papp that he knows, and that's Daddy. It just seems to make sense that this would be his dad. And you look at where they went to school, it's pretty much the same thing. And they both got science, bachelor's, defense,
All right, we can't dwell on all. We'll put the articles right in the story if you want.
Yeah.
But look,
Okay, good. Yeah.
I look at a story, I say fake. It doesn't add up, And I like to tell people, don't read any articles because your heart and your soul should know that these stories are fake. It's the only way. Because if you go search and search and search, and yeah, these things do exist. This thing might be collaborated with it, but we're dwelling on these things.
Oh, right.
Just don't
right,
believe
Max.
anything the mainstream media tells you. Okay, the research you're doing is killing people, man. Just stop researching shit. That's what
Max,
what I have
the
to
whole
say.
thing is, the whole thing is here is that there seems to be more to this than just a plane missing.
There's always more.
What are these?
There's always
What are
more.
these guys looking for? That's all. And when you look into your other articles that you have, I mean, they're putting out little submarines and they're putting out,
Right. They're looking for the black box, and 30 days later, the battery's supposed to be dead, and they're going to eventually either not find it or find it and say, oh, look, we found it, and then they're just going to fabricate the whole story. The whole entire story from day one to now has been fake. Then no plane took off, okay? There's no passengers, there's no scientists, there's nothing. Absolutely zero. The family were actors. It's been proven the family have been actors. It's
well,
100%.
that's what I'm saying is they're sure not looking for a plane.
No.
I mean, for the expenditure that they're, doing, and this little submarine that you have under the search.
Why are they looking for the black box? It's a tiny little box. Where's the gigantic plane? You can use sonar to get the plane, but no, they're going to go after the box because there is no plane. If there was a plane, they'd be going after the plane. Big plane, big. Box, small. Which one would you go after? Well, let's get the plane first. Then if we can find the box, that's a bonus, right? No, they can't find the plane. They're not. They're going to make believe they found the box, and they're going to put exactly the crap story they've been telling you the whole long. And says, well, they're going to dictate and report to you. That's what came out of the box. We're not going to know any difference because we're not going to see anything coming out of the box. We're not going to hear the recording out of the box. Nothing. They're going to dictate to us exactly what's on the black box if they find it.
Sure. It just seems like a big cover story to me.
All right. You got the Bundy farm. People on the Bundy farm, I feel sorry for them because, look, the whole thing is fabricated from day one. Bundy is bad. Bad man.
The people out there, uniting are real. But, I mean, there's something else.
Well, I think most of the players are all in on it from what I've seen. There's nobody going out there, That's just another thing. You're listening to the mainstream media. They report, oh, the Oath Keepers are going out there. These guys are going out there. No one's going out there, man. Did you see Oath Keepers out there? Did you see who's out there? No one's out there. You got Bundy and the rest of his bastards out there.
Well, you got to know Oath Keeper banner up, so obviously they're backing him.
But who are they really? You could tell. You don't go yelling at the people. You don't yell at the cops over there because the cops are just a robot. It was all staged for our benefit. All the yelling, hearing all the little things that we like to yell at them, which you shouldn't be yelling if you're protesting. Because then you're just going to get mauled, tased, and arrested.
But I think the whole thing behind it is that it gives the American people hope, and that they think that uniting in one area in a revolt against something is going to achieve something. Well, that's what I think.
Yeah, well, that too. There's so many things they could have said. They want you to think about this because you may want to go to New York City now and protest.
Yeah,
if we bring enough
Spring.
people, then we got lags. We're talking over each other. You can't hear me.
I'm sorry.
If you go to New York City, they want you to feel confident if you go with enough people that the government's going to back down. Government never backs down. Okay? Whenever you see something, it's staged. Occupy Wall Street, that was fully staged from day one.
Yeah, I agree.
All of it. Yeah. All right? And if you go to New York City and you protest and you bring a horse, you'll be the first one shot dead. Okay?
Yeah.
Done.
All right, let's move on to the stabbing thing classmates.
I
Yeah?
gotta find it.
Okay.
All
um,
right.
in here you see the kid. To me, when do you know of a kid going, again, I'm going to say it, to back to the cop station in a little nightie
Well,
and
ever since the mall shooting hoax, I'm not the mall shooting hoax, the movie theater hoax.
yep, yep. Yeah, like they'll say, well, they collected his clothes for evidence. Right, but you don't put him in a hospital gown. And what wounds did he have that required him to go to the hospital? I see every day on videos the cops beating the crap out of people in the cop shop, and they never go to the hospital. They let him sit there and suffer in a cell. Why'd they take this kid to the hospital? He's got no wounds. Why'd
Not
they
for any
walk him
reason.
out with no shoes on? He's just a little pipsqueak. He didn't take down 20 people. Look at the size of this kid down these pictures.
No. Total
You know?
fabricated story. They didn't show actually any students being carried out there. The ones they did, there's a big guy in a stretcher. They showed a couple of stretchers, but no blood, no bleeding. It's a totally dictated, fabricated story. They want
Well,
you to
they
pray
didn't
for a
even.
bunch of fictitious people who never even got hurt. They'd held a vigil for them, and no one died. Okay, they showed
Hmm.
this one big dude in here. Who was this? Where was this? And when was this?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a total fabricated story.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't put a kid in a hospital gown for an arm wound. And you look at the lady here with the girl with the green shirt. She almost looks like the lady at the Bundy farm.
The best one
So,
is the guy doing the selfie in the mirror. All right,
yeah,
the nurse said, "Why don't you take off your clothes and get naked for me, Sonny? And then I'll fix your arm." Oh, okay, that
yeah,
makes sense to me.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, no, I don't think so.
Illuminati
And a
symbolism. There
vigil.
was always one girl with covering one eye. Now, she's not crying. She's got her
Mhm.
fist up there like that. She's not drying a tear. That's symbolism. Of course, the bottle of water from the hoax, from the event. Okay, they all carry a bottle of water, and people say, "What? It's just a bottle of water." No, every event they hand out water because they're standing around all day shooting pictures. So
Mm-hmm.
people are thirsty. Okay, if they don't have water, they tend to not to perform well. So
Hmm.
yes, they have bottled water there. Okay, just like at the Bundy farm.
Yeah,
And this lady definitely hiding her face because she partakes in a lot of hoaxes.
yeah.
Okay, the same people, they use a lot of same people in a lot of hoaxes.
But you look at it, they never showed the kid in the cop car. They just showed his white t-shirt and him in the cop car.
Right.
In other pictures, well, why wasn't he covered in blood? Or, I mean, 20 people and you're stabbing them all over the place, you'd be covered in
He'd be
blood.
covered in blood.
But
So they
he
didn't show him in
wasn't.
his regular
His t-shirt,
clothes.
yeah, that's why they got him in the gown.
And I'm showing the picture of the kids with the vigil. You hold a vigil for kids who never died.
Yeah, you don't
They're
hold a
just
vigil.
they're just going to be out of the hospital now, and they're holding a vigil for him. And they want you to pray for the school. They want your energy.
Yeah,
They do. They want you to focus on this. And you
yeah,
should
I
pay it no
agree.
mind, like any hoaxes. I won't even read into them. I look at the pictures. I don't have to do any studying or researching, because I know it. I knew this before anybody else, that this was a hoax. I knew the Bundy was a hoax. I just know these things. 100%. Let's move on to the latest hoax, and then we'll be done, because this is a long video.
Yeah, Heil Hitler.
Heil
Okay.
Hitler. Where is he? I can't find him.
It says Kansas Jewish Center
Ah, here
shooting.
he is, last one.
Hmm.
All right, gunman who screamed Heil Hitler after he shot dead 3 in Jewish Center retirement home on the eve of Passover. Say again, on the eve of Passover,
Yeah.
they do these rituals, these hoaxes, just like the Bundy Ranch. They're doing it on the eve of Passover,
Yeah,
also.
the shofar, and tonight is a blood moon, right? So at around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Mountain Standard Time tonight will be the 15th, is the blood moon. So all of this is happening before the Passover.
Right. They're
It's
all
very
staged hoaxes.
symbolistic.
Oh, and again, I must say, these aren't the only hoaxes. I mean, we don't have time. I'll be here all day.
Yeah.
I could literally stand here all day and show you hoax after hoax after. Your news is fake, your media is fake, and they put it on YouTube, they put it on
Yeah.
everywhere. You got to be careful. It's all over. All
Hmm.
right, and they leave out little packages for the people awake, a package for the people asleep, a package for for every level you're at. There's a package for you. Okay,
Hmm.
you
But
got
I
it.
wanted I wanted to show you the picture of the guy holding up his arm. That's a Templar cross. That's not a
Yep, we're looking at it.
KKK cross.
Yeah.
That's a nice Templar. That's octagon, you know?
Yeah. Well, you see, he
The
had to
blood.
attack a Jewish center. Why? Because the Jews are behind it and they need more sympathy, and you can't talk about the Jews.
I wanted to say one more thing. I'm sorry I missed this about the stabbing. I wanted to say that here's something that really hit me about the kid who did the stabbing. They said that they've convicted him on 21 charges as an adult for the stabbing. Now, I want to really say to you, um, what they're doing is he's 15, 16 years old. They're trying him as an adult. And what they're saying is from 14 to 17, they want to make children now adults. Now this leads to a lot of things in your school when it circumvents the parents, when the kids they push on the kids, you need to be vaccinated, and the parents go no. They're going to say, well, you're 14, you're an adult, you decide. So they're circumventing parents and family in order to make these kids to be tried as adults. So it's interesting to me, that whole thing regarding the ages,
Right.
and they're making children now adults to make adult decisions when we know that their mind isn't fully developed until around 22.
The people who own your TV are the people who are doing these hoaxes. They're not real. Okay? They're rituals. They want your energy. They want to fool you. They want to kill you. It's not real. Don't pay any attention to it. I wanted to go back to the Jewish thing first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there's no blood. There's no stretchers. There's no ambulance. All they did was put up 2 pieces of yellow tape. Okay, because this hoax, they didn't have it in the budget. They said we put out thousands of hoaxes every week. You know, we don't need it for this one because people are going through the pages looking story after story after story. We don't have this one's not going to get too big. I don't think we're just going to just use our yellow tape and pose a couple of pictures and we're done. Okay, the
Well,
news
and
is
they're
fake.
gonna
The news
they're
is
gonna
100% fake. Don't even think twice about it.
Yeah, and this is all to demonize, of course, right-wing extremist groups, and it's anybody with an opinion other than what goes with the vernacular, then you're a bad guy. You know, they've drug in the Southern Poverty Law Center. I mean, you're just naming everything. There's Aurora, Missouri, Knights Templar. Oh my gosh, this story has it all, but there's nothing really to it.
Yeah.
Just
All right,
one man.
that's it. All right, let's end it here. I think we went on long enough. Oh God, it never ends. It just never ends. All right, thanks all for listening.
Thank you for listening. Bye for now.